Hello and welcome to another video of us going over the previews that have been revealed for the new units that are coming out in the Awakening of the Clone Wars mod. Here we are on the Awakening the Rebellion Discord, where we're going to go through each and every one of the new previews released by the developer Maxim. So a couple of announcements before we hop right into the previews. I would say that the new mod is going to be coming out very soon. I expect it to be coming out in less than 2 months, so it should be coming out in late November, early December is my guess. Of course, I don't have any final details, but I know that they are working very diligently to get that mod out. And also, I know there's been like a lack of production on my channel, but once the new mod comes out, it is going to be videos dang near every day, probably multiple per day, depending on kind of what we have going on. So I know there's been a bit of a lack of production, but expect there to be a lot. You'll know how it is. Once the new stuff comes out, we start cranking out videos. So let's hop right into the new previews. I'm a little bit late to this one, but here we are anyway. So we have our first preview of the B2 Super Battle Droid line. Compared to AOTR's iteration, the standard B2 Battle Droid has gotten a new model and also gained 2 abilities. Hunt, which makes the droids swarm out and find opposing units, which is really useful. And I don't see the other one yet, at least. But there are also 2 more variants added to the B2 line. The B2HA, which is an anti-armor version of the B2, firing dumb fire rockets to destroy tanks, and B2 grapple droids, which was developed to more effectively counter Jedi. That's good. That hints that there might be a lot of Jedi gameplay if they have an entire unit set towards them, and a fight with grapple droids will stun their opponents, making it easier for other units to damage and kill Jedi. I'm assuming that's because Jedi have the ability to reflect blaster bolts, of course, so maybe when they're stunned they won't have that ability. And then they're also able to block blaster bolts and melee attacks, so I'm assuming they'll have some sort of shields, or at least have armor that can do that, allowing them to get into attack range more easily. So let's get started with the standard B2. We have a droid, anti-personnel. B2 Super Battle Droids are more sturdier than B1s. They also put out more damage since every B2 features dual wrist blasters, excuse me, and some carry powerful wrist rocket launchers. These improvements allow them to stand up to clone troopers, and although this makes them more expensive, they are more likely to survive multiple engagements. 3 teams of 8. There's their weapons. So pretty good solid unit. Repeating fire, by the way, is the other ability. Cool. B2HA's the anti-armor role. B2HA Super Battle Droid was developed to counter the Republic's frequent use of heavy vehicles. The left arm of these variants have been switched out for integrated rocket launcher arms, effectively countering armor, while they retain their usual wrist blasters for anti-infantry work. 2 teams of 6 are a lot less. And then obviously they still have the same abilities, but most importantly they are the anti-armor role. And you have the grapple droid. So these are close quarter combat. The B2 grapple droids were designed to combat Jedi. They feature additional armor to reflect their blaster bolts of any supporting infantry, and are capable of stunning enemies in melee combat to prevent them from properly fighting back. A lot more health, a lot more speed as well. They have the rushdown ability. They have a passive of reflective armor and duelist. So here is what I'm assuming is probably the regular one. You can see the wrist rocket. You have the dual blaster cannons right there. There's a picture of nothingness. Oh wait, it's just loading. Okay, here we go with them in combat. That looks pretty good. I got some clone troopers back there on maybe Mustafar, I would assume. And then here is the melee droids. They do have like the little shields. I've seen these before, but I don't know if they're in the Clone Wars. I want to say they might be, but I'm not sure. Cool. Love B2. B2s are an essential part of the CIS, of course. And moving on, Sneaky one, but behind Sneaky is none other than the ARC Troopers. ARC Troopers will come in Phase 1 and 2 versions and have Standard Platoon and Heavy Platoon each. Standard Platoons are also escorted by ARC Heavy Gunners, which lay down an impressive amount of fire. ARC Troopers will be able to sneak behind the front lines with a mechanic we will reveal soon. Check that out, mechanic, that's good. We like that. Likely, obviously, going to be healing up our vehicles. Description: ARC Troopers are trained to operate independently and to rapidly adapt to evolving battlefields. They are typically tasked with important missions behind the front lines. They have been known to inspire regular troopers with their performance in more direct engagements. 1 team of 8, check that out. 1 captain, 1 medic, which is important, EMPs, protons, and then of course the heavy quad gunner. Abilities: Fire Command and Rushdown. I'm not even sure what Fire Command is. Is that a new ability? Because I don't... Man, I don't think I know any troops have a fire command ability. And then here's the heavy platoon, elite infantry, anti-armor. Heavy ARC troopers carry anti-vehicle weaponry to clear a path into better guided enemy facilities. They also carry mines, allowing them to bait enemy forces into traps. Notice how it doesn't necessarily say they have stealth abilities, but that they might have like a stealth role when inside of a battle, but not necessarily stealth abilities. Keep that in mind. There is the quad gunner. Some pretty good shots of the ARC troopers. Here we go with the Phase 2 Elite ARCs. Unsurprisingly, ARC troopers proved to be the most capable at adapting to new armor and equipment. These upgrades allow them to move faster, making them even better at launching hit-and-run attacks. 2 medics with EMPs, this time still 1 by 8. 2 quad gunners, so yeah, just like a heavier loadouts. The Phase 2 heavy ARCs have been equipped with target-seeking missile launchers, allowing them to destroy opposing vehicles with ease. They also carry ion mines, which disable vehicles or droids for a long duration. That's a important term right there. Whilst ARC troopers complete their mission. Cool. There is a nice little shot of the Phase 2 ones. Nice. Love ARC troopers. Very important as well. Behind the covert crab is, of course, the LM-432 crab droid. These droids are moving in groups of 3 and can terrorize their targets with their repeating blaster cannons and their meaty claws, which can also block incoming light fire. I like that. It's pretty cool. Droids, they are close-quarter combat anti-personnel. Techno-Union Mechas 3. Oh, wait, what? Oh, that's the planet. I'm tripping. I thought that was the Tech 3. I thought I was saying it was Tech 3. Crab droids are small, fast droids built to eliminate infantry. A repeating blaster cannon allows them to do this at range, but they also can use their claws to either protect themselves or brutally maul their opponents in melee. I'm really bad at experiencing these units that are capable of melee and seeing it in action, because apparently like the Kalish warriors can do that, which I did actually see them do it. But yeah, you can see these crab droids move out in groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, something like that. Yeah, 2 teams of 3, so 2 teams of 3. Rushdown and Combat Shield. Ooh, I wonder what that ability does. Cool, I love the crab droids. I think they're going to be really good. I wonder how fast they are. It says a speed of 15, which is triple the speed of a regular B2, I believe, is what we saw earlier. So pretty cool. I wonder how fast they are, and how big they are, and how tanky they are. I am kind of excited for this mod. Sarcasm, of course. I'm very excited. After a long break, today we have a coffee Phase 2 clones. First, we have a standard Phase 2 trooper, which is faster, better equipped, and able to use the sprint ability compared to the Phase 1 counterpart. Phase 2 clone troopers are equipped with more flexible armor, allowing them to move more quickly. They are also better armed and undergone updated training programs, allowing them to utilize advanced tactics and make greater use of grenades. So 4 teams of 10, that's still a large amount of infantry for a regular infantry. Yep, some good stuff right there. Take cover and sprint. And then over here we have the description of the Phase 2 anti-armor clones. Carries advanced missile launchers, allowing them to target opposing tanks at greater distances with improved accuracy, like both of those things. They are also equipped with anti-personnel mines, that's cool, effective at blocking off flanking routes and keeping lines of retreat open. 2 teams of 6s, 6 missileers, and then some grenades as well. So pretty good right there. Good stats as well. Max range is 700 and ideal is 500. That's pretty good. You see their max range is even better than the regular troopers. Pretty cool. And then we have the paratroopers, which can act as long-range specialists. Paratroopers specialize in reconnaissance and in using long-range weapons such as sniper rifles to eliminate opposing infantry from afar. They are developed alongside the BARC speeders, which assist in scouting out enemy positions ahead of attacks. Yeah, they do. Perfect. Awesome. 2 BARC speeders, 9 snipers. So they're pretty sniper warranted. They do have the ping ability as well as take cover. So these are going to act like your rebel infantry that also have the speeder bikes. I'm a big fan of these. I guess the Empire also has these, and so does the Black Sun, now I think about it. So yeah, really, really important to have the speeder bikes. A really, really good thing to start off battles with, as well as, I'm not a huge fan of the ping. I've talked about it before. I think the ping ability should be able to be used regardless of the units. I think it should be, basically what I'm trying to say is you should be able to use the ping ability across the entire map, not just in proximity to the units itself. Hopefully that made sense. Moving on, we have the AV-7 artillery cannon. This should be really good right here. The vehicle will be the Republic's artillery option, but like most artillery, it has no weapons if enemies manage to get too close to it. It is an indirect artillery unit. The AV-7 artillery cannons are best used to break down enemy fortifications or to shell large concentrations of enemy units. They can fire powerful shots at long ranges, but the lack of secondary weapons leave them vulnerable to mass-moving enemies, and they should therefore be kept behind a solid front line at all times. Ooh, keep that in mind. Wait, no. Okay, I wonder how many comes in a group, because it doesn't say right here. Usually it does. Alright, there they are right there. You can assume it's like 2 to 3 to a group, I would assume. And then, love how they're on Christophsis. That's a good little hint right there. And then they have like the little moving thing. I always found the movement of these guys to look so weird. Because they're like, what, like repulsor lift tanks? It's just kind of weird to me. Moving on, the ATTE, the UTAT, the brother of the ATTE, that is. The chill Hawaiian brother, nice. I have a Hawaiian teammate. He is the most down-to-earth, chill man you will ever meet in your life. I think it's so funny. Description, UTATs, or the Unstable Terrain Armored Transports. I had no idea that's what that meant. That's cool. Are large hover vehicles based on the design of the ATTE. They are able to traverse water and other difficult terrain with ease. UTATs are slightly more anti-vehicle focused, being armed with 2 forward-facing laser cannons alongside a 3rd top turret. They are complemented by 4 blaster cannon turrets for anti-infantry work, making them a useful asset in most situations. You get 1 per unit, keep that in mind. I wonder if they have transport capabilities as well. These things, yeah, I was about to say, that picture makes it look really small. Yeah, I wonder if they have transport abilities. It doesn't say right here, so I don't know. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure they do, right? Yeah, they're armored transports. I would assume they do. Here we go. To end off the previews, here we go with is that the last preview? Oh no, we got a few more. Okay, cool. We've got one of my favorite units in all of Star Wars, the MTT. The MTT will come in 2 variations, the standard loadout loaded with B1s and the advanced loadout with B2s. The spawn units are limited though, so endlessly waiting in spawns will not be a viable tactic. Okay, I wonder how that will be. Maybe down here, we'll get there in a second. Multi-troop transports, the MTTs, are large, heavily armored transports specifically designed to carry STAPs and battle droids into battle. They are severely underarmed, relying either on escorts or the droids they carry to protect them. You're going to get 1 per group, as it says, very lightly armed. Heavy armor though, not bad speed. An escort of 2 staffs. Okay, I was wondering how they would do that. So it looks like when you drop them onto the map, the 2 staffs will be waiting and flanking either side of them. I love that. That'll look really cool if they come out of the dropships. Really excited to see that. Here is the deploy. Deploy B1s deploys 2 teams of 16 B1 battle droids. Can be used twice at a time and 4 times during a battle. Interesting. Deploys B2 super battle droids. Deploys 1 team of 8 B2s. Looks like it's regular B2s. Can be used 3 times at a time and 6 times during a battle. Engineer appears nearby droids. That's also a really good ability. Obviously, it's going to come down to what it looks like in the battle to see exactly what this animation will look like and what it means by can you be used twice at a time. We'll have to wait till the mod comes out. But yeah, really good. One of my favorite units in all of Star Wars, the MTT. Next up is the deadliest unit, the HMP gunship. This flying disc is armed to the teeth and even has shields, making it quite durable. The HMP is a very late tech unit though, so investments are necessary to unlock this beast. So it looks like they are going to lean into this thing being extremely, extremely powerful. However, it is obviously a late tech unit, so cool. Hopefully it's expensive as well. HMP gunships are deployed in support of advancing ground troops. Though they carry a variety of weapons, they are best suited to engaging groups of infantry and can struggle against armored targets, particularly those able to effectively return fire. That makes sense. HMPs are, however, mobile enough to disengage from an unfavorable situation, often allowing them to recharge their shields before returning for another attack. 1 per group. Wow, that's interesting. How powerful are these things going to be? Holy cow. Solid weapons, solid health and shields, light aircraft, which is important. Movement type, flying strafe hover. Hovers high above the ground and faces the target when moving. Bye. Okay, we'll have to see what that looks like. Obviously, 30 speed's pretty good. Good ranges as well. Doesn't look like they have any sort of deployment capabilities. So you've seen, in Clone Wars and in other mods, I believe, these things can be transports. Or could, just have like a one-time, kind of like the MTT ability, have a one-time use of dropping some B2s. But it doesn't look like that will happen in AOTCW. Not mad about that. Maybe it's a special unit down the line. Pretty cool, though. Moving on, the second to the last is the Spider. Okay, yeah, cool. Behind this code word is the homing Spider Droid. This droid will penetrate heavy armor with its composite beam and even threaten infantry with its particle cannon. The OG9 homing Spider Droids are largely counterparts of the DSD-1 Dwarf Spiders, raised above the battlefield by long legs which allow them to efficiently spot enemy vehicles and target them with composite beams. OG9s are, however, very slow and not the sturdiest. They are therefore best used behind a protective front line and when the enemy cannot outmaneuver them. Once again, an amount of 1. A lot of these heavy vehicles and higher tech units for the CIS appear to only have 1 amount. It's very interesting. 1 beam cannon and 1 heavy particle cannon, so they don't have anything else besides the composite beam. Or is that the composite beam? That's the composite beam right there, and then the regular cannon. Heavy vehicle, 350 health, very slow, medium walker, can traverse rough terrain. Cool. These things will be really cool. And then you can see these are the top beams. Shooting that ATTE on Geonosis. That, come on, right here. This is Battlefront 1 written all over it. Right? No, Battlefront 2. Oh man, I'm going to get flamed for that. Battlefront 2. Written all over it with that scene. Love that. Right? Yeah, Battlefront 2. Yes, Battlefront 2. Final answer. Alright. Last unit, the Hag. So the Hag, the HAG, which kind of looks like a foot. Sure. Yeah, it wasn't very easy to find a code word for this weird tank. Anyways, here's the stats. Heavy artillery guns, or HAGs, are long-range, self-propelled artillery units, built on similar frame than the more common AAT. Their energy-based weapons can cause great damage, but HAGs are entirely unarmed beyond that, leaving them vulnerable to units that get too close. 1 indirect artillery laser. 1200, 500, hover. Cool. It doesn't show how many come in each group. I'm assuming 1 or 2, maybe 3. I would assume 2. Maybe 1 though. So here they are right here. Love the Hag. The Hag is really cool. The Empire has a very similar unit to what these are, except they have a red blasters, it looks like, instead of green. That's cool. Yeah, just like any artillery unit, can be used very effectively, but has no short-range weapons. So even like a small BARC speeder bike, for example, could potentially cause enough damage quickly enough to destroy this thing if it's not protected. So yeah, there it is. Let me know what your favorite of these previews have been in the comment section below. Let me know what you are excited most about for the upcoming Awakening of the Clone Wars mod. And like I said, expect some more videos to come out soon. And of course, once the mod comes out, this channel will be blowing up with lots of videos. So I highly recommend you subscribe, as I will be uploading pretty much anything news related, as y'all know, on this channel. But if you are new to it, I want to go ahead and say that this channel is the place to be for quick news when the mod comes out and updates and certain things like that. So definitely stay tuned for more.